Carl Jung said, "Awaken and shine your light for others to follow. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." This is an invitation to move differently in the world, to operate from a place of deep knowing and alignment. I'm Adrienne McDonald, and welcome to the Source Code Podcast. Let's dive in. Hello, beautiful humans, and welcome back, or welcome if it's your first time. Grab your beverage and let's see what the Muse has for us today. It is the middle of December, and we are in the full swing of the holiday season. I am seeing lots of posts around the 2024 wrap-up, lots of podcast episodes around lessons learned in 2024, and I thought I would take a page out of A Christmas Carol. Bill Murray, Scrooged, is my favorite Christmas film, so I thought that would be an interesting thing to do. The holiday season often invites us to reflect on the stories we carry, those warm, cherished memories, and those that we would rather leave behind. And Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol is a classic. It's a timeless tale that mirrors this process, with the ghost of Christmas past and present and future, guiding Ebenezer Scrooge through a journey of memories that have shaped his life and continue to shape his life. And I thought I would do 3 episodes, one per ghost, and weave in the whatever human design Sun Gate was in at the time. So today we're going to focus on Christmas past, and we're going to weave in the human design gate 26 and 11, because when this episode drops, we will be at the tail end of 26 and just starting 11, and 11 will go as all the sun transits go 6.5 days. So before we get into that, in the spirit of Christmas past, I've been reading a bit of James Hollis of late, and he really dives into Carl Jung quite a bit, and he was talking about complexes. And Jung defined a complex as a group of interconnected, emotionally charged thoughts, feelings, and memories centered around a particular theme or experience. These subconscious patterns influence behaviors, perceptions, emotional responses, and they often operate independently of conscious thought. Now, we've all heard about complexes: inferiority complex, superiority complex, father, mother, etc. Complexes aren't inherently negative. They can be sources of creative potential or insight when integrated into consciousness. Now, Hollis sort of expanded on this idea because he views complexes as clusters of energy that, when triggered, occupy the body and distort responses. It's the classic overreaction, if you will, based on whatever programming we have going on. And another example of that was, he talked about paranoia as it relates to betrayal. So paranoia is extrapolating a core fear to multiple other recipients, even those wholly undeserving. It's a form of knowing, or think you know, something, believing something in the past and transferring it to the present and making it predictive of the future. That sort of encompasses all of the Christmas Carol ghosts. If she betrayed me, you will too, and I will look for enough evidence to prove that case, and in doing so, drive you away, and therefore there's the proof. This circular logic, according to Hollis, was a possession by the invisible powers and messages of the past. And there's also the collective sense of behavioral. People who try to do the right things and then find themselves at midlife going, I did all these things, why am I not getting the big reward? But often have problems defining what that is. So the problem with betrayal is how and in the way people hang on to it and constantly go back to it. And therefore they bind themselves to that disabling past and find it very difficult to move on. And I thought that was really interesting because he talked about the fact that the past is the past, however, it's still operative. And I think a better question is how? Like, how is it operating? What does it make you do? What does it keep you from doing? The importance of integrating these complexes into conscious awareness is a really major key for healing and growth. And Hollis also stated that one of the biggest projects of the second half of your life is to recover a sense of permission. Most people don't feel permission to live their journey. It's because we learn to meet the conditions that if we want love, if we want approval, if we want support, we have to behave this particular way. And that's where I believe like modalities like human design can be extremely helpful, because human design, like Jung's complex theory, offers a framework for understanding and integrating these energies, and it gives us a place to dig for the gold, allowing us to reclaim our permission to live authentically. Now, adding another layer to this reflection, the concept of shamanic soul loss and retrieval also provides a powerful framework for understanding how we can reclaim parts of ourselves lost to past trauma or disconnection. In shamanic traditions, soul loss occurs when a piece of our vital essence, our life force, detaches during a moment of pain or fear or significant emotional impact. And this can manifest as feelings of emptiness, disconnection, reoccurring negative patterns, among a whole host of things. Soul retrieval is the process of reintegrating those lost parts, bringing them back into harmony with our whole being. And I have been working on my shamanic practitioner training for quite some time now, and holding space and witnessing the profound healing that this work does has been really, really amazing. Really, really amazing. However, let's dive in to the lessons of Christmas past and with human design and the gates, and discover how these gates and maybe some of the psychological insights can help us mine wisdom from what's going on right now. So currently, depending on when you listen to this, we're at the tail end of Gate 26, which is known as the Taming of the Great or the Egotist. And Gate 26 represents the stories we tell ourselves to gain validation or respect or power. It's tied to the survival instinct of the ego, which often prioritizes personal gain. Now, in A Christmas Carol, we see this very clearly in Scrooge's relentless pursuit of wealth at the expense of human connection. In our own lives, the gate's shadow may show up as manipulation, times where we've been sort of bending the truth or acting out of alignment with our core values. Jung's complex theory aligns here too. Manipulation often stems from an unresolved complex around control or power or fear. And Hollis's view of overreaction as an addendum of energy, if you will, is a reminder that these patterns can really distort our responses, particularly when we're triggered. So the journey is to the gift of integrity. That is the gift in Gate 26. And it involves recognizing these patterns, but not with judgment, but with the willingness to learn and grow. And by integrating the shadow aspects of 26, which is manipulation, we bring awareness to how our past influences our present, and that transforms manipulation into integrity, and also helps us stay within our core value set. So if you're thinking about reflections around Gate 26 for everyone, I would say, where have you prioritized personal gain over the collective integrity? What truth can you reclaim from your past to guide your future decisions with more integrity? And how can you align your values with your actions? Or I should say align your actions with your values today. And there's also, I decided to do a reflection for each line type. So line ones, reflect on the foundational truths of your decisions. Where did curiosity about your values or lack of understanding drive manipulation? Line two, consider where your natural talents may have been used for self-serving purposes, like solely self-serving purposes. And how can you redirect those gifts towards more integrity? Line three, look at your trial and error experiences. Has experimentation taught you the importance of honesty over manipulation? Line four, examine how your relationships are influenced by ego. Where can you create more authentic connections? Line five, think about where others may have projected expectations onto you and how can you align with your own integrity? And line six, reflect on the wisdom gained over time. How can your past experiences inspire you to act with honesty? And I think that for all the lines, this is a worthwhile exercise, is really defined what does define your, like really go into your definition of what is manipulation and what is honesty. What does it mean to operate within integrity for you? What does that look like? And sort of journal about that. And don't come from a place of judgment. I mean, we've all manipulated at one point or another, right? The important part is to what did the lesson teach you in looking in the past? Like, how can you carry that wisdom forward as a guide for future actions? Now we're going to move into gate 11. And for the next week, when you listen to this, that's the gate that we're going to be in. Remember, the sun gate in human design is the background frequency of the collective. So gate 11 is the keeper of our memories and imagination. It is the space where we store the narratives of our past and our dreams of what's possible. And when Scrooge visits his younger self, you see how his memories are steeped in regret over missed opportunities and unfulfilled dreams. That's the gate's shadow. It's obscurity. That's how it can show up when we feel lost in old stories or let painful memories cloud our vision of the future. Jung's notion of complexes also fits well here. The unresolved emotional themes can create this fog of obscurity. It distorts our ability to dream or come up with creative ideas. So this also goes back to Hollis's emphasis on reclaiming permission, because you have to have that to sort of go from obscurity to idealism in gate 11. It's reminding us that healing involves giving ourselves permission to dream again. And I often talk about, like, what did you dream about when you were a kid? Because that is something that sometimes it just gets like stuffed down in us, and we just need someone to pry it open every now and then. By revisiting these stories with fresh eyes, you can extract the wisdom and sort of let go of what doesn't serve you anymore. So reflection prompts for gate 11 are: what memories hold the most emotional charge for you? How can you extract the wisdom and let go of any pain associated with that? And this doesn't have to be negative. You can take the good too. It's like, there's some amazing stuff there that you probably have forgotten, haven't thought about for a while, and like, no, I used to be X, Y, and Z. And take that wisdom as well. So what ideas or dreams have you abandoned, and do you want to reignite them? And how can you reignite them if you do? So let's go back to reflections for each line type. Line 1, reflect on how foundational memories have shaped your ideas. Like, go back to the childhood. What core thing wants to come out and be re-examined. Line 2. Consider where your natural gifts for creativity or imagination have been stifled by past experience. Now, how can you reignite that? How can you bring that creativity up to the surface? Line 3. Think about how your experimental approach to life has influenced your ideals. What lessons from past trial and error can you bring more light to the present with? Line 4, examine how your relationships have shaped your ideals. Where can you reimagine connections that align more in the direction you want to go? Line 5, reflect on how your vision for others or society has shaped by past projections. Again, line 5's all about people projecting their expectations onto you. So a good exercise also might be to, like, what's mine versus what is somebody else's? And how can you lead from your place of hopes and dreams, not others? Line 6, consider how your broader perspective has evolved over time. And what wisdom do you have to bring forward to share with other people? So, the ghost of Christmas past serves as a mirror, and it reflects patterns and beliefs and experiences that shape you. So for Scrooge, it was a wake-up call to see where his choices had led him and what he had sacrificed along the way. For us, revisiting our own Christmas past through the gates of 2611 and incorporating insights offer us an opportunity to take a little wisdom into 2025. And to be more mindful around manipulation and operating more in integrity and moving out of obscurity into more clarity, more light. So your past doesn't really define you, but it does inform you. And by examining the shadows in the gates and in the complexes and understanding the psychological underpinnings of all of that, you really can come to a place of a lot stronger integrity and a lot stronger clarity and a lot stronger empowerment, because you can move forward with, again, much more clarity and purpose. So as you're exploring and thinking about your Christmas past ghost, think about what you want to leave in 2024 and what you want to take with you in 2025. And if you're ready to go a little deeper and want to dig for some gold, you can book a personalized human design reading with me, where we'll explore your unique blueprint, and I can help you dig for those gold nuggets within your chart. If you do not have your chart for some reason, you can get that free off of my website. There will be a link in the show notes. There will also be a link in the show notes to book a reading. That's it for today. Tune in next week as we explore Christmas present. As always, thanks for listening. If this was helpful and you feel so inclined, please share out the episode and or leave a review. And as always, don't forget to find beauty every day and seek the magic in Monday. Thank you for listening to the Source Code Podcast. If you found this episode insightful and feel moved to, please leave a review and share it out with those you believe will find it helpful. You can check out my website for more information at www.adrianmcdonald.com. And for more of my more regular musings, connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and LinkedIn. I hope you have a beautiful week.